Hey peeps, Donna here, also known as Schwig, day 20 of Deeper State Keto and of hashtag Operation Lowest Weight. That was started by Watch Kitty Shrink. Day 20. I've had quite a few people ask me lately, how do I maintain my focus? And it hadn't been easy. So I try to work on everything. I try to make things as easy as possible. Out of laziness or out of, I don't know. Why make things harder on yourself if you don't have to? So one of the first things that I did, and I did this 2 years ago already, so I've been working on this for a while, was cleaned out my house of all the junk. Junk. I'm talking about food junk. Junk food. Anything that was higher than 10 grams of carbs. I try to buy things that are under 5 grams of carbs. Even when I was eating more than 10 total carbs a day, which is what I do on the Deeper State Keto program. The items in my house, like I said, if I bought everything was under 5 grams of carbs and I ate something every meal, every time I ate that was 5 grams of carbs, it adds up. So most of the stuff in my house is very, very low carb, if not zero carb. If my husband wants something, he needs to go to the store and get it. I think that's a key too, is to have these conversations with your family. There's so many people that I watch or see, and they get out of their surgeries, or they start a program or whatever, and they go, well, my children aren't on this program, my husband's not on this program, but they're still making the meals for the family, so they're making 2 different meals every time they make it. Well, I can see not sticking with something like that. That would be tough. But if you're making good, nutritious meals for yourself, why can't your family eat them? Why can't everybody in the house have them? So there's lots of times where I eat so little at a meal. I'm just grabbing some meat and cheese and olives or something like that, and my husband is left to fend for himself. Our relationship hasn't always been like that, and I get there are lots of relationships where people feel that they need to make the food for their families and stuff, especially if there's kids. Of course, if there's kids. But like I said, if you're making it good and nutritious, why can't everybody have it? I had to have a sit-down conversation with my husband one day, several times actually, about enabling. And because he hasn't always liked to, but he likes to cook on occasion. And he loves sharing with everybody what he's cooked. And of course, I was always the taste tester. He would go, Donna, I want you to taste this. How does this taste? So, he was, and out of just an excitement and joy and wanting to share. And that's not a bad thing. But I did have to tell him that, you know what? Every time you make like a 1-pot meal, it's full of noodles. I'm not going to eat noodles. And this is way back when we were still cleaning out our house and getting rid of all the crap out of our house. But, my husband's adjusted the way he cooks. Now we haven't had noodles in the house for a long time, but when we did, he would cook his stir-fry stuff, and then he'd boil a pot of noodles instead of combining the whole 2 together. So then he would have his noodles with the stir-fry, and I would have the stir-fry. It works. You can make it work. The other deal is, like I think I mentioned this, he has to go to the store and buy his own treats. If he wants treats, if he wants candy bars, or he's not really a candy bar kind of person, but potato chips, he's definitely a potato chip guy, definitely an ice cream guy. He has to go to the store himself and buy it. It's not something that's going to tempt me. So, I think that's one of the bigger things. Oh, another big thing is finding substitutions for like your favoritist things, like your favoritist bad things. So one of my favorites used to be nachos. Nachos loaded with cheese and lots of sour cream and salsa and stuff. Well, let me tell you, on the keto diet, I can have that sour cream. I think that's why I love this diet so much. So I will have, like, I'll make cheese wisps. And then I'll put shredded cheese over them, stick them in the microwave to melt the cheese, and then have my bowl of sour cream, salsa, guacamole, whatever it is I want at the time. And yeah, I never ever ate the nachos for the nacho chip. Let me be clear on that. I ate the nachos for all the sauces and for the cheese and stuff. So yeah, you know, you find what works for you. My big thing right now is there's a mixture that I'm making that tastes just like butterscotch pudding. And now it's been a long road. A lot of the recipes that I've made have been epic fails. Oh damn. Sitting in my truck. And yeah. Anyways, yeah, not everything that I've done has worked out. And there's so many recipes going around. They look so fantastic, and then you make them and you go, oh. And whether it's a taste thing or it's a grit thing, you know, like the protein can quite often be gritty and whatever you're making. But I think finding substitutes. So I've found quite a few substitutes. I've found quite a few very easy meals to make. And I'm working on food prep. And it's also, yeah. But substituting those things that, you know, things that are healthier for you for the things that you feel like you're missing. I don't feel like I'm missing anything anymore. I did in the beginning, but I don't feel like it anymore. Another thing that has really, really helped is in this last week, I've been working on meal prepping. And I've got a few different meals that I've done. I'm working on making them all lower carb, but still tasty. Has to be tasty. Has to be to my palate because, you know, we're all different, but, and it has to be easy. I'm not doing it if it's not easy. You know, it took me 25 minutes to make 12 meals. It took me another, I don't know, 10 minutes in prep to make my chicken, my stuffed chicken stuff. I'm not including the cook time because you're not doing anything for that. But, you know, finding easy things to make, finding quick things to make, doing the meal prep. Never ever thought I'd hear myself say that. Meal prep. But when I say meal prep and I say it in my head, I try to do it with a smile on my face and try to change what's going on up here, so that I can stick to it, and it's not daunting. It's not a daunting thing anymore. Or, you know, I'm working on it. Huh. Anyways, peeps, I am going to head back to bed. I am so super tired. But if you're new to my channel, hey! And if you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all the support that you guys have given me. Give me a thumbs up if you're up this early in the morning. If you haven't already, go down here and subscribe and click the bell if you're interested in seeing the rest of my 30 days while I'm on this program. I'm leaning more and more towards sticking with the videos and everything. The videos, the logging my food, the meal prep, all of it. I'm trying to, it just keeps me motivated to make sure it gets done when I know that I have to come here and tell you guys where I'm at. So it just helps. That's another thing that helps. Accountability. You know, tell the people around you what you're doing. Tell them, and you'll feel more. You'll feel a need to want to do better and stay on track and stuff. Or I do, anyways. So yeah. Yeah. So if you want to continue to receive the notifications, click the little bell down there, and I guess I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Stay tuned for my Insta story posts if you haven't already seen them. Peace out, peeps.
Good morning, peeps. Happy Monday morning. I am ready for breakfast. I've got 1 egg with 1 stick of Armstrong cheese and my bulletproof coffee. Did my bulletproof coffee a little different today. This morning my bulletproof coffee has 1 tablespoon of MCT oil, 1 tablespoon of butter, and 1 tablespoon of Lee's brown butter ghee. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, this stuff is so delicious. So I'm just curious, you guys, how do you pick the food that you're going to eat in the grocery stores? Now, I assume that a lot of planning goes into stuff for those people who are working on their weight loss. But just let me tell you, when I go to the grocery store, if I'm looking at new products and new items, I can spend a lot of time in the grocery store. I can go up and down the aisles, and what I tend to do is I pick up an item. First thing I do is I look at the back of it and I look to see how many carbs are in it. If the carbs are above 5, I don't buy it. That's it. It gets put back. It doesn't matter how tempting the item is. Since surgery, I have trained my brain that if it's over 5 grams of carbs, it's a no-go. It doesn't even come into my house. The only things that are in my house that are more than 5 grams of carbs are things that I don't like that my husband likes. He's got to have a treat sometimes, right? So there's nothing that's tempting for me in my house. Anyways, I'm just curious. Like, how do you guys decide what's good for you and what isn't? For me, it's about carbs. It's not about even the ingredients, unless there's maltitol in it, because maltitol really does a number on me. So, but it's not necessarily about the ingredients. I'm not that far in my journey that I can look at the ingredients and go, oh, well, I don't want this and this and this. I want to have, right now, it's strictly the numbers. If there's 0 carbs or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbs, up to 5 carbs, I'll consider it, but 0 carbs is a go. But anything else is a no-go. Just the way it is. Can anybody tell me why when I put flavor in my water that it is so much easier to drink? I can suck back 3 of these in an hour. Like, that's 32 ounces, I think, in an hour. Where when it's just water, it takes me all day. I'm having a problem. All I can think about is that dessert I had last night. It was so phenomenal. I used the Lee's brown butter ghee. Incredible. I was not expecting that kind of taste. But the recipe I made with this was so absolutely incredible. I'm finding that I'm planning my whole day, my whole eating day around that recipe. You'll see it next. So it's going to start with 31 grams of macadamia nuts. Like, that's way too much. Perfect. I smash them up a little bit. Add 1 tablespoon of Lee's brown butter ghee. Three tablespoons of coconut cream. And I only have about a tablespoon of this left, so the whole thing's going to go in there. And mix her up. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. I like it sweet. So I put in some English toffee sweet drops. And then in the fridge. Now, hopefully I can wait until tonight to eat that. All that deliciousness. It's time, peeps. It's tuna salad. Peeps, I totally forgot to record what I was having for dinner, so I kind of recreated it. Here it is. It's my chicken thigh with bacon wrapped around the cheese in the center with ham and a piece of cheese. Now it's time for my treat. It's the macadamia nuts, brown butter ghee, some coconut cream, and check out the consistency of this. It's just, it's like pudding. It's so awesome, like butterscotch pudding. It's incredible. The consistency of this. It's just, it's like pudding. It's so awesome, like butterscotch pudding. It's incredible.